Hello there! Right, hello there everyone. Welcome back to James Redmond TV. James has just woken up from a nap, and guys, I've just woken up and there's 3 different pieces of news that we can delve into right now, okay? So the first piece of news that I wouldn't mind is ALISSON and Salah have been linked with Saudi, and it turns out Salah, according to some reports, is discontented somehow, even though his agent the other week was coming out and saying, the foreseeable is with Liverpool Football Club. But as we know, yesterday's news is never today's news, so we'll delve into that. Second of all, will we reopen the links with Kefram Taram and Kone, because they were the original midfielders, if you remember, and then we ended up forgetting about them, and everyone went tits up. So we'll go into that too. And then there was another piece of news that I was gonna talk about, but it is slipping my mind right now. But for now, we'll delve into all that juicy stuff. Also shout out to Jordan Henderson and Steven Gerrard, because I think their team beat Sadio Mane's and Cristiano Ronaldo's team in Saudi, which I thought was pretty freaking cool. But anyway, let's get into the thing. So Liverpool Football Club right now are in a bit of a what do you call it? Just an uncertain time, I'd probably say. And it's a shame for some, but I do want to try and get back to being balanced. Because listen, I can always have my initial rants, right? But then overall, I think it's important to try and come to conclusions to where you are right now. So if Liverpool were in Football League One, I wouldn't be saying let's go and get, I don't know, someone crazy. I'd be going and saying let's get Connor Chaplin, for instance, from Ipswich. Let's go and get a quality player in terms of that league and that division. And right now we need to do the same thing. So for instance, when I see ALISSON being linked with Saudi, we'll delve into that one first. ALISSON is one of those players where you think about the importance. I would argue ALISSON is the most important player in the team, I'll be honest with you, and that's why I'll sit here and say there is no way on God's green earth, I don't care if we get a £100 million offer, we don't sell ALISSON. Now, I was the same person, and I'll put myself on the front line. I'll be honest, when a thought or an opinion of mine has backfired, and for instance, when I said that Fabinho should go, when he was linked with Saudi for 40 million, and I said, because one, he doesn't look the same and hasn't done for the past 18 months, and second of all, if we can at least have a guarantee that he will be replaced, then I'm fine to let him go. Now, Henderson was 33, not getting any better. Fabinho didn't look like he was getting any better, and we were offered a combined 50 million for him. Bear in mind, we were already linked with Lavia prior to any of those guys leaving. So when the offers came in, I thought, okay then, well, I've heard about an overhaul, and I think FSG would be ridiculous to not get in an overhaul, and even though I don't trust FSG on everything, I didn't think they could be that dumb to not go out and get players. So when Fabinho and all that leave, I'm thinking to myself, okay then, well, we were already linked with Lavia, surely that now means Lavia and at least one more midfielder to replace the 2 that went out, plus all the free agents that went as well. So now, it's a conflicting situation, but Firmino went to Saudi. Does that mean ALISSON goes to Saudi as well? I never like doing the 2+2 thing, but is it something that he considers? Is it something that he will push for? Especially if Liverpool aren't necessarily going forward. I mean, if you've won everything in the game, and now you're going to get offered a contract of your lifetime, how come you're just going to turn that down? And how come you're expected to turn that down? ALISSON should not be expected to turn that down if he does get offered that money. So let me know what you think, guys. And I don't think the reports are all that legit, so I'm not going to sit here and be worried about it. But you never know with this club, We probably thought the same about Jordan Henderson to Saudi and Fabinho to Saudi. It starts as a rumour and then it actually comes into fruition. It's like it's a rumour that's made up, and then a Saudi club thinks, that'd be a good idea, let's go in for this player, and then they sign everyone. They've just signed Neymar. So you've got Neymar there, Firmino there, and Fabinho there, who knows. But that league's incredible because they've got Neymar, Ronaldo, Mane, top players who'd still do well in Europe. It was only less than 12 months ago Mane was doing well for Bayern Munich before he got injured and stuff like that. Ronaldo, he does things. He'd be in Europe and still doing bits right now. Neymar's still one of the best players in the world for me, even if he doesn't do it on a week-to-week basis. Speaking of one of the best players in the world, Mohamed Man like Salah. Mohamed Salah, I think that's been the one that we've always questioned. Does he go to Saudi? If he does, would we sell him? If he goes, how much would it be for? Salah is the most important outfield player that we keep at the club right now. The way I was saying before, Alisson's the most important player. Salah is the most important outfield player at the football club right now. By the way, it's not even close. You don't sell him. You do not sell Salah. You do not replace those goals. At least I do not trust FSG to find the adequate person to replace the Salah goals. That's not me trying to be negative. I'm just saying that, based on track record, we typically don't do well at replacing players. In recent, we haven't even been able to replace Genie Wijnaldum, for instance. How are we going to go out there to replace Mohamed Salah? Mohamed Salah is a different beast, a different level of importance. But you do think, with the Chelsea game being subbed off early, and then also the fact that we're not making many significant improvements, let me ask you in the comments down below, could that maybe change a tune? Could that change your mind? Because listen, people expect last week's decision or last week's opinion to be the same as this week's opinion or this week's decision. So when I'm in work, I used to work in a sales job, right? In that sales job, if I got sales, that would be the difference between me having a good week and a bad week. Now, there was times where I couldn't be bothered with that job. I didn't always have to work in that job, but it was good for some extra cash. There'd be weeks that I'd be in, I'd be like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? I'm having a tough week this week. I'm not on form. Not quite getting the sales that I'd like to get. I want to go home. I want to change job. I want to do something new. And that's the thing with Salah. If you're a winner, an elite mentality monster, like a lot of people suggest with Salah, which I agree with, then why are you going to be getting subbed off against Chelsea when you're drawing and be happy with that? Why are you going to see the club not going out and buying players and be fine with that? I don't think that makes too much sense. So that's the only reason why I'll sit there and I'll go, why would you not want to push a move to Saudi? In fact, it would be quite cool. Say if Saudi lasts, whether you agree with Saudi, don't, that's irrelevant from this conversation. Whether, let's say it lasts, which is entirely possible. Let's say Saudi League becomes one of the best league in the world, and I think we're already there. I think we can already say it's number 2 in the world. Can't we say this? Maybe not for overall depth, maybe not for developing players, but in terms of superstars, I feel like that's now probably going to be number 2 or 3 most watched league in the world. I think it goes above France. I think it goes above possibly La Liga, but again, that one could still take a while, just not the Premier League, that's all. Does Salah want to go there and be a part of that legacy? It'd be an amazing move for him. And he'd go there, arguably, as the biggest star. I'm not saying okay, not Ronaldo. No, Ronaldo's there. That'd be ridiculous. He'd be going there as the second or third biggest star. And Mane's already there. Fabinho's there. Firmino's there. Everyone is there, so why not go? That's the incentive for these players now. So we need to make the most out of that contract. We need to hope that FSG just don't get turned or swayed about these transfers. That's one thing. And I'm just hoping I'm not going to be waking up anytime soon, seeing here we go from Fabrizio or Paul Joyce or whoever the hell about Salah going to those clubs. So let me know what you think. And then the last thing, we've been relinked with Kone and Thuram. Very, very brief. Would you take those players? I would. I'd take Kone. I think Kone would be a great signing. Would I take only Kone? No. You need to go out and get a 6 as well. I think, my opinion, pardon me, I'm yawning. I did just wake up from a nap, I apologise. Fiorentino Luis and Kone. Get me those 2. If you don't get me Kone, I'll be fine with Thuram. I'll be fine with Thuram. I'm not the biggest fan of Thuram, but I will be fine with him. Why didn't we get Lavia? Why? That's going to be one that we're going to miss out on, guys. I can't stand this chat. But hopefully this was a bit more of a positive note video. If you did enjoy, you know what to do. Yeah, you smash a like and you don't do anything else. What have I got any other plans? 8:30, 8:30 PM to be precise. Me versus Hussam versus Tom versus Mons. It's going to be a stack show. And I keep yawning, so I'm going to see you all later, fam. Peace.